Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers IV here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, this will be a video today about the fact that our society expects way too much of us men. I mean, first of all, we're the ones who are supposed to be the providers. We're the ones who are supposed to be the protectors and defenders of our girlfriends or wives and children, if we even have any, that is. And if our country was to be at war, then we would be the ones to be drafted. And I mean, even if there were women also drafted in war, we'd be the first. And if anything, we'd also probably be the most people that would be drafted into the war if our country were at war with another country. And on top of all that, we're the ones who are expected to be the ones to walk up to, approach, and ask out any woman that we want, that we desire, that we wish to be with. All that pressure and expectation is only put on us men. Also, when it comes to our society expects us men to not be emotional, to not be sensitive, to not be fragile, to not have a broken heart, to be tough and rugged, to be someone that we're not, or that we can't always constantly be. And when we do show our weak side, when we do show our fragile or sensitive side emotionally or mentally, we get made fun of, we get mocked, we get bullied, we get harassed, we get put down, we get degraded and discarded. Like, nobody cares about the feelings of us men. And when we're going through shit, when we're going through hell, for whatever reason, nobody feels sorry for us. Nobody feels bad for us. Nobody cries for us. Nobody weeps and grieves for us. Nobody gets brokenhearted over the suffering of any of us men on the face of this world. And I just find it extremely hypocritical and an absolute double standard that, women can be emotional, women can be all up in their feelings, and they can have a broken heart and be going through shit, going through hell, whatever. And people will run to them and comfort them and nurture them and give them all this affection and attention and positive reassurance and feedback. And people will actually feel bad and sorry for a woman who's suffering. They'll cater to them, both men and women. And also, when a woman is suffering, people actually cry for a woman suffering. Other people have their hearts broken over a woman who suffers in our society. But when it comes to a man suffering, it's like it's non-existent. It's like it doesn't even matter. Like it's just something to ignore and act like it doesn't exist. Like it's not a real thing. And that is what I call being hypocritical and a double standard. I also find it hypocritical and a double standard that our society only puts pressure and expectation on us men to be the ones to walk up to, approach, and ask out women, always. I would at least find it fair if it were both equally put on men and women and not just men only. But that's the way it is in our society. Because that's how our society has been and worked for just the longest time. It has only put the pressure and expectation on us men, on us guys, to be the ones to walk up to, approach, and ask out a woman that we want to date and maybe eventually marry someday. But when it comes to a woman, she never has to worry about feeling or having the pressure and expectation put on her to be the one to make the first move. And so I just find it really unfair, very unfair, that it's up to us men to be the ones to make the first move. And if we can't, and if we're unable to, for whatever reason, then sucks to be us. We'll be virgins until the day we die. Because we're unable to and incapable of asking out any girl, or especially the girl of our dreams. And it just pisses me the fuck off. And you know, I find it just weird that so many women in our world have fought for women's rights for so many years and so many decades and generations, especially the women who are in feminist movements and whatnot, and they want like equal rights, like a lot of the same rights or whatever that men have, women want to have too. And I get that, I understand that. But then when it comes to some certain things like being the one to make the first move, being the one to walk up to, approach, and ask out someone of the opposite sex, there is no pressure or expectation put on women to do that. Except, you know what, that would definitely fall under the thing of equal rights. You know, if women really wanted to have equal rights, well, guess what? They would also be pressured and expected to make the first move themselves. If they really truly wanted to have the same equal rights that us men have, they would also have to be the ones to make the first move, especially if the man could not do it himself. Like, if there was a man that a woman liked and that a woman wanted, but the man that she liked and wanted was not able to make the first move or didn't for whatever reason, the woman could then do that. But instead, she doesn't, because there is no pressure or expectation put on any woman to ever be the ones to make the first move, to ever be the ones to walk up to, approach, and ask out the opposite sex, being us men. It's only on us, which I just find unfair. I mean, I really do. And I don't see why anyone would not agree with me on that, especially when it comes to men. I'm sure, obviously, I'll have more men agreeing with me on that than I ever will women. And, you know, it honestly just pisses me the fuck off how easy women have it in our world, in our society. You know, the only reason why women are allowed and able to live life on easy mode and get away with a lot of shit and not have anything really expected of them by our society in our world is because they're the ones who bring new life into the world, if they even want to, that is. They're the ones that give birth. They're the ones that carry a child. And you know what? I'm not saying or acting like women who carry children don't suffer. I'm not saying that, nor do I not believe that. Of course I believe that. I'm not stupid. I know and am aware of a lot of the sufferings and a lot of the hardships that pregnant women go through And especially when it comes to giving birth, it's painful. I obviously realize that. I mean, I can't say I know how it feels, obviously, because I'm a guy, but that doesn't mean that I don't realize that it's not painful. Of course I know that. Of course I'm aware of that. But just because of that one reason, society allows women to get away with so much. They allow women to be emotional and to be fragile and sensitive and to be all up in their feelings. They allow women to go through shit and complain about it and rant about it and just get away with it. Get away with throwing a pity party. And they also allow women to be the only gender who's allowed and able to have a broken heart and to be emotionally and mentally fragile and sensitive and to be people who cry a lot and people who are like damaged emotionally and mentally. And the only gender that really ever gets people who actually feel bad and sorry for them, both other women and men, even too. Because there's so many men in our world who worship women called simps and think that all women are queens and that women are so innocent and pure and holy and that they can never do any wrong. I mean, literally, that's what simps believe, because simps believe that women are perfect and that they can never do or say any wrong, which is bullshit. But that's who and what simps are as a group of men. And those men make women become worse. And, you know, it just makes me sick to my stomach and disgusted and furious as hell when simps will give women money hand over fist like there's no tomorrow. They'll just shower women with gifts. They'll just give a woman, a stranger woman, a random woman that they've never met or personally known in real life, anything and everything that they ever wanted. And so women don't have to work a job a day in their fucking life. If they don't want to, well, guess what? They don't have to, and they'll still be well off. I mean, just take a good look at Armoreth. I think that's how you say her name. I mean, she's a perfect example of a woman who's never worked a fucking day in her life, who never did shit. And she's a fucking millionaire. She owns, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 7-Elevens. She has a just massive online presence, and she's a massive influencer, and she has millions of fans and supporters, and she has her own house that she probably bought when she was like, I don't know, 18, 19, or 20, like really young, younger than most people would ever be able to. And obviously she's a whore and has lots of boyfriends and probably just screws around with a bunch of them. I mean, hell, why not? If she doesn't have to suffer, and if she doesn't ever know or understand what it's like to be a real, normal human being who has to work a shitty-ass job pretty much until they die, then why wouldn't she just live her life like there's no tomorrow and just every day is a fucking party for her? And you know what? There are so many women online like her. She's not the only one. I mean, she's kind of pretty much like Kim Kardashian or the Kardashians in general, because all the Kardashians are full of themselves, just like so many online women are. And you know, this is why I feel and believe that our society is just so corrupt, so backwards, so twisted, upside down, distorted, unfair, unjust, cruel, and abusive to us men, because our society just loves to run us men over, just throw us under the bus, just crush us. But they cater to women. They love women. They adore women. They admire women. They respect women, care about and love women. Our society does. And our society only has made it easy for women, but not any of us men. And, I don't see why or how no man could really be pissed the fuck off about this type of shit. I'm enraged. I'm frustrated because, you know what? I would love to have an easy life. I would certainly love to live life on easy mode, but I can't because I don't have the same privileges that women do have in our world and society. And it's crazy to think that women, even if they're not necessarily that hot, even if they're just average and even ugly looking, but maybe slightly attractive, all they have to do is get on Instagram, go on Twitch, go on YouTube, go on Twitter, create an OnlyFans, and sooner or later, she'll become rich beyond her wildest dreams. She'll have the life that she's always wanted. And it's only a matter of time before she gets it. But when it comes to us men, we don't have that same exact advantage compared to women. Like when it comes to us men, we could never have it that easy to where we could just do shit like that and blow up online. Like, no, it's not that easy for us as it is for women. And it honestly just makes me angry. It makes me so bitter and hostile. And, in a way I kind of find it funny because I see and have realized for many years of my life now just how very easy that women have it in our world because of the way our society is and works and has been since forever, pretty much. I don't know, if I could just say one thing to women, I would say, don't take all the privileges and advantages you have compared to us men for granted. I honestly just can't believe that you women have it so easy. You have it so good. You're so blessed. Honestly, you're so lucky and fortunate to have the better hand of life compared to us men. You're so blessed, lucky, fortunate, and privileged and spoiled to be the gender that just all around has it so much better than men because you're the ones that bring new life into the world, and that's only if you choose to. You're the ones who carry babies. You're the ones who give birth. And just because of that one reason, you're able to have so many privileges, have so many advantages compared to men, and you're able to just get away with so much, also because of that big reason, but also the only reason, really. And it's just, it's unbelievable. It's outrageous, but, that's what you get for being the gender that is the one that brings life into the world, that carries children. And that's only if you want to and choose to, because many women choose to get abortions. Many women choose to go on birth control and do other shit to prevent themselves from ever getting pregnant and ever having babies and ever having to deal with that. And it's extremely selfish, greedy, self-centered, and absorbed of women who are like that, especially if they're crazy fucking rich, and yet they don't even want to bring any children at all into the world because they want to hog all that money to themselves, of course. It just shows how selfish, greedy, self-centered, and self-absorbed that most, if not all, women are in this world. Even if they have so much money, their own house, so many things, and are just so very spoiled and just such a rotten person and so very privileged and have so many advantages, and yet they don't even want to bring any kids into this world. Just ridiculous is all I have to say about that. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. And yet it's the reality of things in our world, in our society. I hate the fact that I'll never have it as good as women, just because of the fact that I am a man, someone of the exact opposite gender. And because of that reason, I am supposed to have it harder. I'm supposed to have it much more difficult. And just a hell on earth life. And just go through so much bullshit throughout my life compared to a woman. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. And of course, only men will really agree with me on this. But of course, simps won't. And neither will blue-pilled cucks. But men who know what I'm talking about and know how it feels and understand what I'm saying here, only those men will obviously agree with me. But not all men, and that's fine, because not all men are in their right minds anyways. Especially not when it comes to simps and guys who have just been so cucked by women. It's just crazy. It's insane. Sometimes I just can't believe it. Because it's sometimes hard to wrap my head around why things are this bizarre. And there's nothing I can do about it either. Because I'm not in the position of power to even do anything about it. Because if I was, I'd definitely try, but I'd probably fail anyways. Because I'm only one guy. And, I don't know. But, that's all I really wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.